Ricky G is in trouble.
Yes.
Nyawo
But we continue to pray. 2 weeks ago, I went to Mount Kenya for prayers.
You did?
Yeah.
Obviously, it didn't work.
It is working. That's why they didn't swear in Kindiki.
No, they wanted to go through the right channels, the legal channels.
Moses had inspected the grounds.
And it was going to happen.
Yes.
What do you think? What do you think stopped the inauguration?
The prayers.
God, a divine intervention.
Divine. Oh, you went to school, I think.
I went to school.
Yeah.
But the prayers won't help very much going forward.
Well, they will help. Trust and believe. Just trust. In the Holy Book, it is written, with faith,
all things are possible.
Yeah. With faith, you can move mountains.
Well, he's a truthful man.
And you know, the wife is a pastor.
Pastor Dorcas.
Yeah. And her tears have reached heaven.
They touched the ground, but reached heaven.
Yes.
Kwani Giuliani.
No. Heaven.
Yes.
Huh?
Yeah. But it's tough for him.
Yeah.
It's tough.
And the family.
They are determined to remove him.
And then he comes out and says there were 2 assassination attempts on him.
That's what I say. That's what I call bad manners. After a divorce, let people go their way and not talk about each other. These are leaders, and we are like their children. They shouldn't say certain things in public. It's bad manners.
Yeah.
If there's a divorce, bitter, painful, but take a walk and go.
Walk away.
Just start your new life. Don't talk about your partner.
Yeah.
That's not how it's done.
And
At
then,
least.
yeah.
So they shouldn't say things like poisoning.
But you know, it's
don't know
not.
what Ruto will say now.
Yeah.
There's a limit to what you can say. First of all, we wouldn't even believe them. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then he starts giving examples of Sijui Kisumu, it happened. And then Nyeri, his own backyard, they tried to poison him.
These are things over which you have no evidence.
And why didn't you raise them
Then
initially?
It is also not easy. You can't, because this is government. Remember, even Saitoti, we got to know many years later when Moi talked about it. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah.
No, I was a kid, man.
That they almost killed my vice president.
Right.
Remember that? Right?
Yes.
Many years later. We didn't know. But I had looked at him, and at some point the body looked funny, especially the skin. So when Moi talked, that made sense. Yeah.
And they tried to poison him that time, remember?
Yeah.
I can't remember, bro. I'm not.
No, they tried. They did poison.
They did poison him.
Yeah.
He almost died.
Yeah, he almost died.
I wasn't there, Jeff.
Okay.
I know you are not there, but you should be reading, man. Read.
Read some
As you
history.
remember, I wasn't there.
Please Google poisoning of Saitoti.
So it normally happens in the political arena. These attempts are always there.
These things happen. But what I'm saying is, it's not good for things to get to the point where the leaders are saying certain things in public. You keep them to yourself.
Do you think he secured that vote by giving the deputy presidency back to Kindiki?
Even the people in Mary themselves, they are not happy, not the way anybody would have expected. Because people know these guys are being unfair to Gachagua. Everybody knows. They are lynching him. They are crucifying him. So even in Meru itself, I'm not seeing that excitement. If you saw it, you are in media, tell us. There was just a small group of fellows in the Iraq itself. But the entire mountain is restless.
And sad.
Yeah, they are very, very, not even sad, they are very annoyed.
Why?
It's too little, too late.
Yeah. That Kindiki can't save the Mount Kenya vote. It's gone.
Is it?
It's gone. That one's gone.
What
I'm wondering is, why would he do that? And the answer could be, first of all, is that in their calculations, they could build a Western alliance. So with Raila and Davadi and Ruto and the rest of those around there, then fly over the country and land at the coast. You have Joho there, and then of course they have Northeastern. I think they think with that they are comfortable. I think they are not. Even from a mathematical point of view, it's a little difficult. And the voting patterns and enthusiasm with which certain communities vote or don't vote. So that is wrong. And even the politics of it, the politics is even much more challenging. Because I've said this many times, many fora. I've said, you cannot govern this country if you ignore the Luo and the Kikuyu. You cannot. It's not possible. You try. Let's see. He'll be the first. Let's see. The second possibility is they know something we don't know. If you see the way President Ruto is driving and ignoring public opinion and everything, it seems he knows something we don't know.
Like what?
You guess.
Like what?
He must know something we don't know.
Something from the mountain.
No, whatever, not mountain. Mountain is gone.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's prepared for something we don't know.
Which could be what?
You could guess. I'm trying to think. I'm an old man. Take time to think.
You're just throwing it out there.
And I will say Mikitu.
Ongea.
No, I'm an old man. I take time to think.
But you think there could be a game plan that we know not about?
Yeah.
What could have gone wrong so soon, bro? What do you think could have
Maybe
gone
it was never there in the first place.
with these two?
Maybe it was never in the first place.
They seem to be getting along well in the beginning.
Who and who? No, I don't think there was anything between them.
You don't think so?
I think not just Gachagua. I think Ruto just wanted to get to office, whichever means. And one of the things would be to use Gachagua and his people and get to office. I don't think there was any love between them.
And it's
I
money.
doubt. I really doubt. It couldn't end so soon.
Yeah, 2
And
years.
so badly, so vicious.
2 years.
Yeah. It's too soon, too vicious.
Yeah.
You cannot explain it. What theory can you come up to explain that sudden? I mean, it's too soon, too vicious. You cannot. There's no logic that can explain it.
It's ugly.
It's ugly. Perhaps Wetangula would give us the words. Maybe messy.
It will be messy. It will be noisy.
There will be casualties. But it's going to be like that. This thing will not end well.
No.
Especially because the judiciary has been put to test. For them, it's either do or die. For the judiciary,
Yeah.
but
If you were Gachagua, why not just resign?
why?
to save your future political thing.
Career.
He's past that mark.
Huh?
He's past that mark. He's already been impeached. That he would have done before.
Yeah. Why didn't he look at that as an option?
Maybe he weighed his options. Maybe he thinks he has a chance. Up to now, he still has a chance. If you ask me, it's a big chance, especially because it is the judiciary on trial. Not Ruto, not Gachagua, not National Assembly.
Not the Senate.
Nobody. It is the judiciary on trial.
Najua wakati wa Maraga.
This is the last thing the judiciary will have to. This will make them or break them.
Wow.
After this, we either have the judiciary or we don't. And I'm not saying they have to save Gachagua. I'm just saying the way they manage
handle
this,
it. Yeah.
the way they handle it. Especially in terms of one thing that they have to do. This one is not an option. They should stop the hurry. Yeah.
Let it
If
drag.
they can hold this thing until everybody is heard and everybody is satisfied there was fairness in the game, it doesn't matter whichever way it goes.
It's not an emergency.
So the only thing the judiciary has to do now, over which there's no compromise, is to stop the hurry to get Kindiki to office.
We might be celebrating Jamahuri Day without another deputy president.
Yes.
Yeah,
It can't be this year.
And there is a time of
The issues to be handled
Yes.
are so weighty that they will go to the core of the constitution. And in fact, after this, we will be compelled to go back to the constitution and make certain amendments. And that's why it cannot take 2 days. Like, for example, we must address the issue of what happens when a deputy is impeached or leaves office. We now bring in somebody from the back door, not from the people of Kenya. It is now the National Assembly to give us somebody. They can do it in 60 minutes. They are given 60 days, they want to do it in 60 minutes.
Yeah.
And that man can as well become president, not elected by the people. Given to the people of Kenya by a parliament nobody trusts and believes in. So we shall have to look at that issue. Can we really trust somebody like that to become our president, whom we don't know how they got to office to become deputy president, and who will in turn now nominate another deputy president? So that it would mean therefore the people of Kenya have been locked out of deciding who their president is. You know that can work.
Yeah.
You impeach Gachagua, he goes. You bring Kindiki. You impeach Ruto, Kindiki becomes president. Kindiki, who elected him? So those are issues that must come out of this kind of engagement at the judicial level. It cannot just be that tomorrow is okay, lift orders, let him be sworn in. And it looks so cheap, and I listen to lawyers and say, what kind of lawyers? It's also, you know what we are doing? We also are being given an opportunity to see whether we have lawyers in this country.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we are not just testing the bench, we are also testing the bar. Do we really have lawyers in this country? Because at a time like this, it's not the money. It cannot be the politics. You know, it's about the future of this country. We need to see senior members of the bar giving guidance.
We have Khamino.
Even without instructions.
Khamino was there.
Khamino is trying his best. Say, where is the hurry? And the Giz is trying to intimidate him. And Khamino said, no, I was practicing And you know, those kind of things go down in history.
Yeah.
Because what Khamino is saying, people are just hearing the words. But there's deep meaning in what he's saying. What is the hurry for? Because I have said the one thing the judiciary must do, forget about how they determine this thing, whichever way it will go. But one thing they must do is to stop the hurry. Yes.
No haste.
Hold your horses, please. Let's hear everybody.
Take a breath.
Yes, deep one again. Let's hear what is Gachagua saying. What did the Senate do wrong, if anything? What did the National Assembly do? Stop the hurry. That one they have no. If Kindiki is sworn in a couple of days from today, then the judiciary is gone, according to me, completely gone. Take your time. Hear everybody out. Dispense justice. Give your final opinion or verdict. Kenyans will accept it. Which there are people who may not accept it, of course, naturally. But if Kindiki is sworn in like this week, the judiciary is gone, according to me. They hurry. That's what Kamino was saying. Tunaenda wapi? This is our country. And there's no vacuum. Even if you are to argue that there's no deputy, which in my understanding is wrong, but let's us buy that there's no deputy. Because Gachagua was impeached, Kindiki has not been sworn in. The Constitution has something for that. Rectangular is there in case something happened.
Yeah.
So there's no vacancy.
During the Moi time, there's a time that he went for some time without a deputy, right?
Yes.
Quite a while.
Yeah.
Quite a few months.
So, and you see, even in Kwale, they wanted to embarrass themselves. I think somebody saved them the last moment. What was the hurry to make Kindiki go there as a deputy? What is the hurry? Musalia Mudavadi was there.
Yeah.
He could have welcomed the president. Why Kindiki? You know, that hurry is what will destroy everything. And I can assure you, even if they swear in Kindiki, this take to the bank, please. Do you have a good bank?
I have a very good bank.
First American.
NCB.
Or Citibank. You left some account there? Let me tell you, even if Kindiki is sworn in, the Supreme Court will have a different idea at some point. Which will mean, therefore, they will introduce issues of legitimacy in the presidency. If you swear in Kindiki today, Gachagua will not go home. He will continue up to the Supreme Court. Kindiki will do his job as deputy president. But I'm telling you now, please give me a call when that happens. The Supreme Court will vindicate Gachagua.
Vindicate?
Yes.
Come on.
They may not return him to office because it may be too late. But the pronouncements they will make will shake the foundation of the presidency. And they will come out looking very ugly. So in their own interest also, let them listen to Hamino. Let them not be in a hurry. Because I'm sure finally, in many jurisdictions, the judiciary is always conservative on matters of government. Very conservative. They always rule on the side of the status quo. You know, you remember even Trump, his own people he had put there.
That's right.
They didn't they didn't stand up for him. You remember this hour when he wanted
Correct.
to, you know, that is how the judiciary always works, conservative. So, in the final analysis, the chances that Gachagua can succeed against Ruto will be very, very low. So, the chances that Kindiki will finally become deputy president are very high. So, what do? Listen to everybody. And there are people yet to come on board. Even one of the judges said yesterday, there are people yet to come. I could also go. Gunza and I could go.
Yes.
Yeah, we want to hear Kenyans on this matter. Yeah, American will say, Bado.
Yes.
You ain't heard, no, nothing yet.
Eh?
Yeah.
Nasikia akiongea kiamerika.
You ain't seen nothing yet.
You ain't seen nothing.
So,
Yeah.
Hamino was right. Let us not be in a hurry. But what I know, unless there are such a glaring irregularities in the process, Kindiki will finally be given the job by the judiciary, in terms of clearing him. But if you mess it by hurrying up, you'll come out looking bad, and nobody will believe in the judiciary
Anymore.
And he might not last beyond 27.
Which is 27? That'll be the end of him. He will not go beyond 27. Even Ruto himself, in his own calculations, I don't think he can take Kindiki as running mate.
In 27.
No, he can't. He will flop.
So what are we trying to do with all this?
Maybe he signed his resignation letter already.
Gachagua, man
Gachagua
of God. And you know he's truthful.
He's a truthful man.
Yeah, maybe. Let's go back to what I said, that there's something we don't know. There must be a game plan. And I keep thinking, deeply so, the deal between Ruto and Raila is deeper than we can imagine. It's much deeper than we can imagine. All these things are fitting into that deal. And I want to think the answers will come out very soon. If Raila doesn't get AU and he doesn't run for president when it is his for the taking, then it will indicate that there was a big deal between them. There is a big deal. Because if Raila doesn't get AU, and people are thinking he may not get, I'm praying for him because I could come one of the advisors there. In Addis.
You just want to secure the bag.
People in Addis.
You want your bread buttered.
So, if Raila doesn't get AUC chair, and he comes back, and the Ruto is vulnerable, the underbelly has been exposed. If Raila doesn't go for the seat, that will tell a big story. Because the moment Ruto loses Mount Kenya, he now solely and entirely depends on Raila and Mudavadi. So if Raila were to go for the seat, he will just pick it in the morning.
Are you sure?
Of course, because the Mount Kenya people will be so excited to support him, because he's the only man who can teach Ruto a lesson on their behalf. So if he doesn't run, that shows you there's a bigger deal than we would even have known.
Raila has a history of losing elections.
Not this one. Raila has never lost an election. Losing the presidency. Not becoming president, but he has not lost an election the last 4 elections. Not one.
You're saying he won?
Which one?
In 2013?
He won.
2017?
He won.
Oh, come on, man.
But even the Supreme Court said he won. What's your wrong?
No, the Supreme Court nullified the election.
Because of irregularities.
Yeah, that means he won.
No.
Why?
What English is that?
Let's
What linguistics is this?
Let's speak Ekoyo.
I know what Prof is trying to say is that it has been taken away from him a couple of times. But what
all
shows
the times apart from the earlier ones. From 2007 he won. Kibaki took oath of office at night, and even said tafanya kazi zangu za uhalifu.
When he was being sworn in, it's because Kiswahili is not
Judge Kriegler came here. He spoke English. He said you cannot tell who won. In English, that means the man who won didn't
win.
Who says, in simple English, and this guy is an Englishman. So sasa mimi naambia Wakenya saa ingine mjifunze kizungu, inaweza kuwasaidia saa ingine kama kuelewa Kligla alikuwa anasema nini. In 2007 Maraga said what he said and nullified the elections. In 2022 we saw what happened. The scrutiny alone would tell you there was a mess in the election. The scrutiny ordered and supervised by people of status quo. Almost all the ballot boxes that were scrutinized had their seals broken. Some of them, the spare. We had a spare from 34. What? A spare. The spares were not there. Where had they gone? Come on, nonsense. There was something about the election. So, Raila wins elections, but he never becomes president. Maybe people are saying maybe he wants it that way.
Yeah, the kingmaker.
Power without responsibility.
Power
without responsibility.
48 laws of power.
That's it.
You can have power without responsibility. Right now, tell me how powerful Raila is in this country.
Extremely.
What he says goes. If today he decides Jeff becomes something, you'll become.
Immediately.
Now tells who unaanza kutekelezwa mara moja. He was not there those days.
But I could hear.
You could hear.
Yeah, the announcements on radio.
Now tells who
unatekelezwa mara moja.
Unaanza kutekelezwa mara moja.
With immediate effect.
Yeah, if you had a flag, the driver, the first thing they had instructions to remove the flag.
Yeah.
That's what happened.
And they unscrew it.
Hata kama ni kuachishwa kazi ilikuwa mara moja.
Isn't that what happened to Ricky G at Karen Hospital?
Yeah. That is sad, eh?
So are we seeing the tendencies that used to be there during
a few of these things, like history has a tendency of
repeating itself.
So, but one thing we are also trying to understand and actually to say is that we don't know what could have happened between the two. My own explanation is there never really was anything between them. It's like you think somebody's a passing cloud. You know the image people had of Ricky G. You remember? And I think Ruto could have had the same thinking about Ricky G. He is a village boy you can play around with, toss him around. He's happy to be deputy president, and he didn't reckon with the fact that Ricky G could be a no-nonsense man.
Former DO.
Yes.
During Moi's time.
Everybody is getting surprised that is this the Ricky G we knew? This is a tough man. And again, perhaps because of that, Ruto got to realize this is not a man you can wish away. He could re-engineer this game so much that I get into trouble in 2027. Ricky G is not a joke. Maybe by 2027 Ruto will be having problems. Maybe Ricky G would walk out of that with the whole of Mount Kenya and create partnership with somebody and do it while in government.
He's son of Mau Mau.
So, but the important thing is that this is giving us an opportunity to stretch our constitution, to see the limits where we can go, and like I said before, to see whether we have lawyers in this country or they just speak English.
Yeah, and whether truly they are learned friends.
They just speak English.
Yeah.
And you see, I don't know. What will I do to lawyers? They speak so much English in court. Like yesterday, what were they saying?
My lords.
Even they confused the bench. Because all the things there was nothing to say yesterday. It's a simple thing. People go to the court over these matters, and the judge Muita feels this is a weighty matter. In fact, according to him, he used the word monumental. And the lawyers arguing in court, they know what conservative orders are. These are very, very orders with very far-reaching implications. They are not like stay. They are not like normal injunctions. And so how then do you go to court at night and seek to set aside those conservative orders when the courts, two courts, Kirigoya and Nairobi, have said these matters are so weighty, we will hear the parties together on the 24th to hear them out. Then you are moving to court to have those orders lifted. In another court at night, sitting on us. What are they saying in court? There's nothing to say in court. This should be done in 3-4 sentences. Because how? What are we talking about? What were they arguing about? Kizungu ilikuwa ya nini? You cannot set aside those orders. How? Si watu wangoje hiyo Thursday ifike kila mtu asema mambo yake. Kwani what is happening? Where are we going as Camino is telling us? Where are we going? Where is Thursday? Thursday the day after tomorrow.
Yeah, no, Thursday is tomorrow.
Thursday is tomorrow.
Yeah.
So what are people? What were people doing in the court yesterday?
Yeah.
Speaking English, showing off some suits. Some of them plastic. What are we talking about?
Waswahili lakini wanasema chelewa utapata.
No. I'm telling our lawyers, Sarah, at disappointment. It's a big disappointment. There's no need.
Haraka.
You cannot come to set aside those orders.
Yeah.
And a clear date has been set on 24th by serious judges, and they have said it's monumental. Kenyans were wondering, all these people are in Rick G's office? Guys who told us they inherited empty coffers and they could hire such a busybodies, all this, and some of the titles those guys have.
Yeah.
In the civil service, to get to job group SO2 is a dream of many professionals, highly educated and experienced, but they never get there. They retire before they get there. Busybodies are just slapped with those titles. Those job group S, job group T. My friend, job group T in the civil service is a very high grade.
Senior.
Yeah, very senior persons. Very senior. Now, busybodies have, watu tumekuwa tukikula na mandazi now, juice now they are, so,
Senior.
108.
and they are most of them in one village.
And he had 8.
They can conduct all the business in one language. So they are exposing themselves.
Other news.
This is what government is.
Items indicate over 100.
Yes, over 100 of people from one village, perhaps.
Compulsory leave.
And you know there are laws of natural justice. When somebody gets a job for a minimum of 5 years, okay, you cannot guarantee yourself beyond the tenure of Gachagua. So 5 years, those on contract, you can take a small loan on the basis of that. You take your kids to a nearby school, the new rent you can now afford in the new neighborhood. You can't disrupt all that just like that at night. Guys went there yesterday, they were told hapana, milango imefungwa. That's the people who have been telling us government has no money.
Yeah.
In fact, that came from Gachagua more than anybody else. That we don't have money.
And yet?
And then you pack your office with busybodies. And that's not just Gachagua, it's everywhere. You have friends in the media, they have gone to work for ministers. You know them.
Yes.
They're packed there in the ministries.
When this happens,
you can imagine how many are in State House. The anger that is building in this country. Hey, when the time comes, not if, when the time comes, when the river bursts its banks, we will have no country. God has been nice to us. God has saved us. Other countries have gone down for much less. You have traversed this world and this Africa, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
For much less than some of the sins we've committed against ourselves in this country. When our time comes, we will wonder why we allow this to happen. The anger is too much in the country. You cannot have a country with so much anger, so much pain.